Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, the 24th of June. Welcome to your Wednesday midweek morning workout. Okay, so we've got a nice little workout for you today, as we always do. We've got a 200-meter run with some sit-ups. We're doing 2 rounds of that, and we've got a 400-meter run with some kickbacks, and we've got 2 rounds of that. So the first one, it's a 200-meter run. If you're not going to do a 200-meter run, it's 150 skips. We're looking to run this 200-meter run as hard as you can. Come back in. Whatever time is left on your clock, so you're going to have 3 minutes to complete this total amount of work time. Whatever time is left on the clock after the 200-meter run, you're going to spend the remainder of that 3 minutes doing as many sit-ups as possible in the remainder of the time. Full 3 minutes, finish, rest 1 minute. Then you go again, 3-minute period, do your 200-meter run as hard as you can, come back in, do as many sit-ups in the remaining time of that 3 minutes, rest 1 minute. Okay, then you go into your second 2 rounds. Then you're going to go into a 400-meter run. So 400-meter run, you're going to run that as hard as you can. Okay, it's going to take you a little bit long, but this time you've got 4 minutes. So it's a 400-meter run, run as hard as you can. If you're not doing a 400-meter run, it's 300 skips. Come back in, and then whatever time is left of that 4-minute period here, you're doing as many kickbacks as possible the remainder of the time. Then you're going to rest 1 minute. It will be just short of not enough rest, but you're going to run hard anyway. You're going to keep that cardiovascular rate going. Run as hard as you can. Second 400-meter run as hard as you can. Come back in, as many kickbacks as you can, and the remainder of the time, rest. Okay. So the trick here is to take these 2 runs as hard as you can, a little bit of rest. It's going to start to drive your heart rate up. And this 400-meter run and kickbacks is where the work's really going to get a bit spicy. 400-meter run, you've got to try and keep that pace up as hard as you can. Go straight back into your kickbacks, rest. You'll just be recovered, not quite ready yet, and then you have to go again. Run that 400-meter run again as hard as you can. Come back in, you've got to push through those last bit of kickbacks. It's still going to be working the heart rate, and then you're done. And then you're like, whew, thank you, Wednesday's done. Okay, guys. So that's your Wednesday workout. Let's just go through the movements and have a look at what it's going to look like. Okay. So run. Well, let's start the clock. 3, 2, 1, go. Says your clock. You've got 3 minutes on the clock. 200-meter run. Make sure you've logged it out all the way back in. If you're not running, you're going to do 150 skips. 150 skips, elbows tucked in, stomach nice and tight. 150 skips. If you're not doing 150 skips, you're doing 150 line jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 150 line jumps. From that, straight down into your sit-ups. So sit-ups, chin tucked in, feet into butterfly position, up, touch, 1, 2, 3, straight into your sit-ups. As many sit-ups as you can in the remainder of that time, okay? Chin tucked in, make sure the head you don't lose your head there. Keep that rib cage connected so this lower back is flat on the floor. Chin tucked in and pull, shoot, touch. If you're not doing sit-ups, you can do butterfly, just touch, 1, and keep that lower back nice and safe. If you need to keep your feet on the floor, you can do a crunch as well. Whatever you need to do to get that stomach to work. Okay. When you sit ups, rest 1 minute, and then you're going to start again. 3, okay, 2, 1 minute, and then you're going to run out the door, okay, or down the driveway, or down to the end of the road. Come back in, straight into your second round of sit-ups, or straight into your second round of that. So you're going to work for 2 rounds of 3 minutes. Then you're going to rest the 1 minute. Then you got that 400-meter run, 3, 2, 1, go. 400-meter run as hard as you can. It's going to be a little bit longer. It's going to take you about 2 minutes, 20 seconds, 2 minutes, 30 seconds maybe. Come back in, and we're going to kickbacks. So shoulders back, chest tight, stomach tight. Jump back. 1, 2. If you're not doing kickbacks, if you feel that's uncomfortable for your shoulders, you can do a second round of sit-ups, or you can do a round of air squats. Okay, air squats, hips pressing back. The only thing about the air squats is it may tie your legs more than the kickbacks would tie your legs, but that's also okay. Do the air squats if you want to do air squats. Do 2 rounds of the 400-meter run, and your kickbacks or your sit-ups and your air squats. Time, that's your workout. Quick and short. The point of this workout is to get your heart rate up as high as you can. We really want to jack that up. So if you need a little bit more warm-up briefing, we'll take you through that now. Okay, guys, so we want to use that heart rate, we want to use that warm-up to get that heart rate up so that we don't suffer so much when it comes to the workout. 5 minutes of running, we recommend a running warm-up today because you're going to be doing that for the workout. If you're not going to do that, you need to skip, use a bit of a skip. Then you're going to come back in. We're going to do sit-ups, push-ups, air squats, and kickbacks. So we're using movements that we're going to use for the workout. We've got 45 seconds of sit-ups. You do 45 seconds of sit-ups, as many as you can in the 45 seconds, then you're going to run for 100 meters. 100 meters, go out, come back in. If you're not going to run, you're going to do 50 skips or 50 line jumps. Come back in, you're going to do 45 seconds of push-ups, 100 meter run, 50 skips, come back in, 45 seconds of air squats, 100 meter run or 50 skips, come back in, 45 seconds of kickbacks. Okay, and then the last little bit of run. Use this 100 meter run just to pick up the pace a little bit. You want to try and get to a pace that you're going to use for your 200 and your 400 meter run, so you're getting running warm during all of this. Okay, so your sit-ups, we're ready to take you through the sit-ups, the push-ups. Right, so push-ups, start in a kneeling position if you want. Elbows tucked in. Remember to keep those elbows tucked in nice and tight. I don't want to see the elbows flaring. As soon as the elbows flare, you're going to put too much work through the front of the shoulder. So the more you can tuck your elbows in, the less work in the shoulder joint. There will be more work in the triceps, okay, but there's less work in the chest. Again, not snaking into the lower back. Keep that stomach tight. And you want to feel that whole body move as one up onto the knees. Stomach tight, press onto the knees. Lift the knees. Knees to floor, chest to floor, push up, lift. And you're not letting the hips drop, stomach tight. If you do strict push-ups, same thing, hips and chest to floor at the same time. Up. One, elbows tucked in, not flaring the elbows. Press, 2 strict push-ups. For the air squats, okay, air squats are easy, shoulder width apart. Make sure you're not bending the knees first, hips pressing back into your air squats, hips pressing back. And if you're doing kickbacks, last one, kickbacks. If you're doing kickbacks on the movements, you can do step backs instead of kickbacks as well. One round of that should help. 45 seconds of work. It's a good time to work. Work consistently. You don't have to rush the movements. Just have good, steady, consistent mechanics with a good, steady run. Then we're going to do a little bit of mobility work. The mobility work is going to be some supine, so some shoulder bridges lying on your back with a bit of reach out to the side. We do some downward dog to cobras, and we do some lying wall hand to toes, which I'll show you. So the C-spine shoulder bridge, we're going to start lying on our back in this position. Okay, and what we're doing is we're doing a shoulder bridge, and then we're going to reach with our arms. So from there, shoulders back. You've got to make sure that the weight stays on the shoulders. I don't want to see the work on the neck in this position here. So from there, squeeze the hips up into the air so the bum's doing the work, the glutes are working. It's not the lower back arching. Rib cage stays connected. Then this arm's going to reach across. And without dropping my hips and without rotating too much into the back, I'm going to reach across, press, and back. Other arm up. Stomach tight, press. 2, other arm up. Bring the heels in, press. So if that's too uncomfortable for you, then just control the range of movement. Control how far you take it. And you're doing between 3 and 6 reaches on each side. Okay, that's going to be your supine shoulder bridge reach. Next one we're doing is a downward dog to cobra. So from there, something nice and tight, go into a pushback. There's your downward dog. Press out through the arms. Okay. Strictly speaking, a pushback is normally knees bent. Downward dog, you're going to try and push those knees out straight. Try and push the heels down towards the floor so you can feel the stretch down the back of the calf and behind the knees. And then press the hips back through the air. Oh, I can feel the stretch down the back of the legs through my shoulders. Stomach nice and tight. Stomach tight, squeeze it, don't let the hips drop. Hips pressing up. Press back. Push the heels, back of the knees. Press. Try and get this, so I don't want to see a round in the upper back. You're trying to arch and extend that back. Press. Press. Last one. Work on that movement. Press at the back. So really work on that downward dog. You get that stretch all the way down the back of the legs, down the knees, which is pretty uncomfortable. Okay. And then the last one is lying wall hand to toes, which looks like this. So depending on your mobility, depends on how you do this. If you've got good mobility, you can take your hips nice and close to the wall with your feet up. And what we're looking for a full movement is to keep those heels locked out, toes pulled back, chin tucked in so the head's not here, and you're going to try and touch. Okay, stomach tight, and you're going to touch the hands to the toes. Press up, up, 1, 2. So it's kind of a substitute for a toes to bar or some kind of a hanging overhead. Depending on how strong you are, depending how flexible you are, depends on how far you can reach up. So if you're flexible enough, strong enough, up, touch, you can touch your toes. If you're not, you can reach halfway up, 1, up, 2, or you may need to move yourself slightly further away. And your feet are there. And now chin tucked in, up, touch, up, touch, or again, up, there. That's your lying wall to toes. Okay guys, so those are the 3 movements we're going to use. So we've got your supine bridge and reach, so lying back, stretching out into that overhead position for the reach, do 3 to 6 reps on each side. Then we've got the downward dog to cobra, straight arms, straight legs, try and get those knees locked out as you push back into the cobra to get that stretch down the back of the leg, I should say the downward dog. And then the lying walls, do 6 reps of those. Do 2 rounds of that little bit of mobility and midline activation. Okay, from that we're going to do lots of bit of WOD prep or preparing for the workout. So we've got some Supermans, okay, which you're going to fire up your back extensions. And we've got 30 seconds of dead bug. It's going to get your core nice and engaged. Then we do some back extensions or some heel touches, some warm up stomach, lots of it, hip extensions and sit-ups, so that this is nice and warm for the workout. So Superman holds and dead bugs. 30-second Superman hold, stomach nice and tight. Hands are locked out into overhead position. You Superman flying through there, except I want your chin tucked in, lock the knees out, squeeze the glutes, stomach nice and tight. You lift both your arms and the legs off the floor at the same time. Up, 3, and relax. 2, and we're just doing a hold. So you're going to hold for 30 seconds. If you can't hold for the full 30 seconds, hold for 5 or 10 seconds, have a short rest, rest back up, try and hold for another 10 seconds, hold. And in that position, shoulders are back, stomach's tight, glutes locked out, knees locked out, and you're holding for as long as you can. Don't let this start to happen. Okay, keep those knees locked. If that's too much, you can bring your hands tucked in, and you're doing a lying back extension. That's also an option for your 30-second hold. From that, we're going to roll around into a dead bug. So chin's going to tuck inside. Lower back's nice and flat on the floor. Curl up, keep the rib cage connect, legs up into the air, and we're touching dead bug. Stomach stays tight, and what you're focusing on is making sure that that belly button is pulled down and the small of the lower back is pressing into the floor. Rib cage is curled up, chin tucked in, hold, and you're doing 30 seconds of dead bug. If that's too easy for you, you can alternate. Hold, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. Lower back nice and flat. Go for your dead bug or your single leg extensions. Then we're going to go into back extensions or Jefferson curls. So if you can do back extensions, if you did Superman holds this way, you can do that. Otherwise, you can do 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Do back extensions, or your option is to do Jefferson curls, so into a standing position. From here, I'm going to press all the way up, and we're doing a Jefferson curl. So a Jefferson curl is just rolling forward. Chin tucked in, roll forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel the hamstrings and the lower back stretch. Roll up the spine. 1. Rolling forward, roll up along the spine. 2. So you're working on mobility in the lower back, upper back, and neck, and as well as flexibility in the hamstrings. That's a Jefferson curl or your back extensions. And then we're going to heel touches. So we're going back down onto the floor. And from there, I'm going to go over a line. So stomach nice and tight, hips tucked in. Don't let the tummy pop up. Belly button pulled down. Feet together. 1, straight legs. 2, 3, 4, 5. If you need to bend the knees, bend the knees. Stomach tight. And we're doing 20 to each side. Those are your heel touches. Okay. Then the last little bit of work, we're doing hip extensions and sit-ups. So your hip extension is now going to be working on this bridge. Can you do single leg bridges, or you can do a double leg bridge. Hip extension 1, hip extension 2, or you can go back and start doing another back extension. Back extensions for your back extension, and then your sit-ups that you use for the workout. Get your ab mat if you use an ab mat. Get a lower back. If you want to use a mat to line, chin tucked in, and you're going for your sit-ups, or whatever progression you're going to use for your sit-ups. Okay guys, do 1 round of all that. That should get you ready. Make sure you're running warm, ready to go nice and hard. Set your clock, Set your clock for 3 minutes. Remember, the first round is 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 200-meter run as hard as you can. Come back in. Whatever time is left on the clock, you're doing your 30 seconds. Give yourself 1 minute rest. Do your second round, 3 minutes. Run as hard as you can for 2 minutes. Come back in, as many sit-ups as you can in a minute at a time. Get yourself 1 minute rest. Then your 2 400-meter runs with your kickbacks. That's your wonderful Wednesday midweek workout. And I will see you tomorrow, Thursday.